All of you feel this way? Feel like I shouldn't be here?
It is probably for the best.
I find myself in an awkward position. Normally I'm the analyst in the Brony community that defends what others hate, discussing the positive aspects I feel others ignore. That's where this channel got started with its MLP parts, with me defending Equestria Girls, Princess Twilight, and me defending Fluttershy's popularity. However, after watching Princess Twilight several times, I can't join the other Bronies on their fangasms.
Oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh.
I was disappointed with this episode, and I found it the most flawed extended episode in the series. Yes, worse than Crystal Empire, and even Equestria Girls. I'm not saying this opener didn't give great moments. In fact, it had absolutely amazing, jaw-dropping ones. However, those are countered by flaws that are nauseatingly bad, that I feel others are just ignoring. I'd like to say if two-parters of MLP were Disney movies, I would say Princess Twilight was the Hunchback of Notre Dame. It has absolutely amazing moments that push the limits, but it has insufferable moments that drag it down. The way it's all pieced together is also so disjointed, I'm surprised that this was a Megan McCarthy episode. Structure is her strong suit. It is because of this why I'm actually making this my next perspective video. I didn't mean for it to be a full long episode. I didn't want it to be, but I felt it needed to be. Let's get the good out of the way, as there are dozens or so videos gushing over them, and it's well-deserved gushing. First off, the humor was perfect. Pinkie Pie and specifically Discord never failed to give me a laugh.
Fine, but I don't do windows.
On a Discord himself, he was amazing. This is exactly how a Discord should be going forward. He's on the good side, but he is reluctant to help, and when he does, it's often sort of for his own amusement. He also forms a nice contrast to Celestia and her motherly lessons with his own unique brand of them. Also worth noting is his animation. Discord's animation always had a roughness about it. Like every part was glued together leftovers from Flash assets. This time his animation, particularly his facial, feels custom and smooth, hinting at likely more roles for him in this coming season. AJ also is able to stand out in her own way that doesn't involve apples. And the final twist with the elements of Harmony being, well, gone, is an amazing setup for this season. Oh, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, that's right. Dim action sequences. They are glorious. People in Bronies have said MLP can't do fights well. This ends those arguments. At this point, those of you who have not yet thumbs down this video, rage quit, and put very disturbing comments below are probably wondering, well, what's the problem then? Well, there is many in fact, but let's first address how this episode is structured. The episode is so disjointed in terms of pace and arrangement that it just pulls me out constantly. The first part overall has a good pace. A little too much time is spent on Vines taking over, but it builds to an epic flashback as its climax well enough. That flashback ends up going nowhere, but it builds it up pretty well. Look, I love the Princess Duel flashback, but it serves no purpose in the middle of the story when it adds nothing to that point. The show itself even admits it.
I saw something from a long time ago, but it didn't explain what's happening now.
I'm not saying it didn't have a place, but the place was with Celestia. The effects of the scene is all on Celestia and Luna's relationship, yet is spaced as far away from them as possible. The scene adds nothing to the current tension that is the rampaging Everfree forest. And the pacing gets even worse within Everfree's section itself, leaving out the characterization flaws of the breakup scene. Oh, trust me, I will get to those. The scene is simply backpedaling of the story that quickly is rendered pointless in a time sink. If the scene needed to happen, it should have happened before they entered the forest. Having Twilight enter the forest, leave the forest, then enter once more is very repetitive in a negative way. It's these kinds of structural choices that prevent a steady rise of tension. All these pieces I believe can actually fit together, albeit slightly modified in framing, but the current form feels like a puzzle that has been solved by hammering all the pieces until they fit well enough. I could spend more time on pacing, but I have other points I need to cover, one of which is the biggest disruptor of that pacing, that stupid Deus Ex Machina potion. Let me just state it. There is absolutely no reason to add that potion to the story. Every single flashback could have happened without it, either by a character simply reflecting on the scene or magically showing it. Both Celestia and Discord have shown the capacity to do that. Better pacing or distribution of the flashbacks could have completely erased the potion's need. Another negative about the potion was it served as the only use of Zecora. Her home has been overrun by mystical forces, and the main six have to find a way through said mystical forces. With all this setup, why is Zecora's only purpose to toss Twilight a random alicorn potion? Why does she not just, I don't know, help guide them to the tree, or give them a quick explanation of the tree's purpose or origin? Nope, just plot delivery device again. Speaking of wasted purpose, the rest of the main six continue to play a minimum role in solving a two-parter's main conflict. Yes, they saved Twilight twice, but in a way where they could have easily been substituted in for by 5 royal guards. There is an old writing saying, if you can remove a character from a scene, replace him with any other character, and nothing changes, then scrap that scene and start over. The point being, every character's unique attributes should play a role. Every pony should be vital in their own way. Heck, even Equestria Girls got this part right, and how the human main six got their respected cliques to support Twilight. Without their support, Twilight would not have been able to succeed. Worse yet, unlike Crystal Empire, where they serve a non-offensive comedic supporting role, the role in the second episode of Princess Twilight is actually subtractive and disrespectful to their characters. This scene was so forced and out of character that it hurt.
All of you feel this way? Feel like I shouldn't be here?
It is probably for the best.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Yes, the preceding Discord scene was amazing, but there is a mutual saying in the editing and story writing communities. You need to kill your babies. This expression does not imply any acts of euthanasia. It means, as a good creator, you have to know when to cut the parts that you love and are good on their own, but are subtractive to the greater whole. Discord's turning around Twilight should not have happened if it meant to have that stupid breakup scene that was so forced and out of character for everyone involved. That scene was worse to me than all of Bridal Gossip. Other negative character moments worth mentioning: the main six outright admitting their loss without Twilight, and why the buck are they not helping there? The antagonist force was also a letdown. I don't mind the lack of a mastermind villain. In fact, I actually found that refreshing, but I was let down by how bland the rampaging Everfree forest was presented. An overwhelming majority of the problems was the same thorned hentai tentacles. This is bucking Everfree Forest, home of manticores, sea serpents, cockatrices, timberwolves, magical artifacts, and plants of all shapes and sizes. And outside of the cloud scene and Rockadile, it's nothing but the same old vines. That is a terrible waste of potential. Fluttershy's interaction with Discord also felt awkward in this episode. I still want to see how the relationship is better defined and shown, not just accepted and used against them. Speaking of which, was this Discord's song?
Winter wrap up, winter wrap up.
Do not tell me all of this build-up before Season 4 was just a brief winter wrap-up cover. Look, Princess Twilight was not the worst episode in the series by far, and overall it was actually a pretty good, enjoyable episode. However, I still consider it the worst extended episode, and that includes Equestria Girls. Crystal Empire and Princess Twilight are like two sides of the same flawed coin. Crystal Empire was much more meh, with no real big highlights, but it was well structured, and the rest of the main six weren't offensive in their roles. Princess Twilight had absolutely amazing highlight moments, with great world building, but it is a contender for the worst structured episode in this series. It has jaw-dropping character moments in the bad way. Friendship is Magic, The Best Night Ever, and Return of Harmony were season openers and closers that evenly distributed plot importance to all the main six. Twilight of course got more attention, but all of the others were equally important in their own way. Asking for a return to that is not too much. Keep calm and an open mind. Also, I think they might have just killed Discord and Celestia shippings. At the very least, half the fics are now obsolete. The scene from the past seemed to indicate a general hatred relationship, and not the bitter ex-lover fans have speculated since Return of Harmony. Sorry, KP.